Yeah.
Best intro ever. Oh my god.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Oh yeah, the Versus Horror Avengers, the Justice League, has returned. That's right. A panel full of horror fans and badasses come together to celebrate the zombie and horror genre and have a friendly debate of which movie is their personal favorite. That's right. Oh shit, who we got back on the channel? We got Lindsay Washburn back on the channel. Welcome back, Lindsay.
Thanks for having me again.
That's right. And of course, we gotta have the tag team champions of horror and metal back on the channel. DJ Neko and DJ Anubis. That's right, from the Metal Tavern Podcast. That's right. Make sure you guys follow that podcast. And Mr. Tony of the Dead is back on the channel. What's that shirt? You got a big pumpkin there? It's the Great Pumpkin. Love it. Love it. We got Joe Valley, another legend. Media Glitch in the house. Oh, yeah.
Thanks
Derek
for inviting
is
me back.
Hell yeah, man. Derek is back from Flick Snacks Knickknacks. That's right. It rolls off the tongue. And the first time here on Versus, we got my brother from another mother, Radical Reggie. Oh, shit. That's right.
Yes.
And if you've missed it, make sure you guys check out our hilarious episode where me and Reggie talk about the Stepfather movies. So at least the first two. It's hilarious.
I watched
Great.
it.
It was amazing.
Check it out.
It was awesome.
Do the stepdaddy. Do the stepdaddy.
I watched it.
Stepdaddy.
He did a great joke on that. What was it? He's like, he was dead wrong or something, and it went right by everyone's. Right over everyone's. I laughed. Something like
man.
that. I forget what it was, but.
Yeah. But this is going to be a blast talking horror films and celebrating the genre and celebrating the director himself. That's right. E-Rock could not make it. Just shout out to E-Rock. We'll get him back on here in the future, but we got to give a shout out to the legend. Who is here in the house? Movie Dojo Army. Oh, yeah. Jake Hall. He says, hello, everybody. Let's start the ruckus. Omelet Blast. Oh, shit. She's here. That's right. That's right. Kid Jawack is in the house. Heather in the house. Mike Swift. Sexy Sumo. Man, Sumo, you need to be, you should have been on this panel, bro. You fired. Bob Odinson. What's going on? Fletch, what's cracking? Oh,
is that really his name?
Man. And Brandon and Movie Marcus, what's going down? Oh, shit. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's talk about, we're going to start with, I'll go first, of course. We're going to start with Dawn of the Dead, 1978, directed by the master himself, George A. Romero. That's right. Plot synopsis. Following an ever-growing epidemic of zombies that have risen from the dead, two Philadelphia SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his television executive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. That's right. Man, we got Ken Forey in the house, Galen Ross, David Imish, I think that's his name, Scott Ranger, totally watching here, and many other badasses, of course, Tom Savini and all the trimmings. But I, always a fan of Night of the Living Dead, of course, the original classic, but and the remake. But here's the thing: me and my buddy, when we finally got around to watching Dawn of the Dead, man, we popped it in. And this movie, I just rewatched these the other night, and because it's been a long time since I watched them. And this movie, I forgot how insane the beginning of this movie is. This movie is insanity. It's so much chaos. Like, I was like, holy shit, dude. Now, you can imagine a young samurai and his buddy sneaking, trying to sneak to watch this movie and watching it, and fucking, I can't even imagine what people were doing back in 1978 watching this on the big screen for the first time, right? But, oh my God, dude. Like, it's straight up chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos in the beginning of this movie. Just everybody going insane. You got my homie over here, biting down on some chocolate cake. You get the chocolate cake now, right? That's some good chocolate cake. Woo! You know what I'm saying? It is insane. But I'll try to keep it brief here because we got a huge panel. I want to make sure everybody has the time to talk. But what a fun ride this movie was. I mean, Joel, is there a Guinness Book of World Records for how many headshots are in a movie? Because I'm like, Dawn of the Dead has got to be up there, man. There's so many glorious headshots and fun moments like this with the helicopter blade. My poor zombie man, my brother here didn't make it. But yeah, just
great
fun.
effect, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Holy smokes.
Rewatching this, I was really having problems with this character. I was like, oh my God, it's so annoying. Thank God though, she, helped out at the end and she came through when it counted. So I was like, thank God. But even her boyfriend, man, her boyfriend, hold on, I gotta find it. I got Flyboy. Yeah, we'll just call him Flyboy. I thought I had a GIF here. He has to be. He was annoying too, but he grew on me later. But he has to be one of the most unathletic dudes.
Oh my God, yeah. That's how you're supposed to swing the hammer. We don't know that.
I mean, what is this? What is this? The Raid movie's got nothing on this here. I mean, what?
I'm so glad you got that clip.
What is? And see the way he runs. Even the way he runs is like it's like,
but he can fly a helicopter.
Right? Romero didn't go, cut, let's do it again.
I know,
I love it.
Right? But as unathletic as that guy is, he did make a hell of a zombie. I'll tell you that. Like, he did he nailed this.
Oh, when he walks out the elevator.
Yeah. His foot's all broken and he's dragging it. Like, he nailed that. So props to him.
And he's got like one finger in the pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the limp and like perfect. Like that's a zombie right there.
Oh yeah.
That's so good.
But for me, my favorite characters in the movie are these brothers right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These dudes. Ken Forey's awesome. I met him in real life. Really very nice guy. And I can watch a movie series with these two. I can watch a TV series with these two. I mean, look at them. Look at them, the two brothers, smiling at each other. Hey, let's go out there and let's blow up some zombie heads, brother. Yeah, look at my little homie down there, and we gonna get some burgers afterward. Go hit up the arcade. Yeah, these guys are great. But was not expecting this. I was not expecting. You got that horrifying, insane beginning. Was not expecting the movie to go into comedy territory. Did not see that coming. And but overall,
those pies, because those pies would not still be good the whole time that they've been motorcycle gang with pies.
Right. But yeah, just overall, really enjoy it. Love this movie. It's 5-star film. It's 5-star flick. It's a classic. But enough of my yakking. Enough of my yakking. Lindsay, Dawn of the Dead.
This is one of my favorite zombie films, if not my favorite zombie film. But just what I love about it is, one, you have Tom Savini's practical effects, and he was able to do so many things in this film with not a huge budget. And the characters, Ken Forey and his buddy. One of my favorite scenes in the entire film is when, is his name Roger? I think the character's name is when he's transforming and he's under the sheet and Ken Forey's just aiming that gun, and it's so effective because everyone else's attention is on the television and you hear it in the background, and it's so, the suspense just builds and builds and builds until that sheet comes off and he's completely transformed. And that's such an effective sequence. It's one of the most
He said, "Don't shoot me till I come back. I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try not to." Yeah.
Yep.
Good acting.
Very good, very good. It's very well done, and just all the stuff that they're doing in the mall that anybody would do. You know, you're trying on clothes, you're messing around with stuff, you're playing the games, you're just trying to cure your boredom and just eating all the food that's there and
Is that
just
pre-Duck
doing-
Hunt?
It looks like it.
Wow.
And what would be more fun than driving around a car in the mall and shooting zombies out of the back of it? You know. But yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. Love this film.
Nice.
Right on.
DJ Neko.
I agree with all of you. 5 out of 5 for me as well. The one thing that really pulls me into this movie is I like the relationship between the four of them. Like they're characters I care about.
Mm-hmm.
So you see them fighting for each other, and you know when he's transforming, and she keeps giving him all that morphine, and it kind of, even though it's a zombie movie, you feel for these characters because you know that this is one of the hardest things that you can deal with in their lifetime. I also thought they were so smart by the way that they used the shopping mall and they kind of corralled the zombies, but everything, like I just felt for everything they did in the mall. Like the funniest thing though is I hadn't seen it in a while, so he pops it on, and like you were saying, Samurai, like I hadn't seen it in a while, and I'm like, what the F is going on? I thought this was the one with the shopping mall, and he's like, they haven't gotten there yet. And then you have that one dude who's like just being like inappropriate and racist, and then like he gets blown right in the head. I'm like, yeah, you got that. You deserve that. And I'm like, okay, but where are the zombies? And they're just like, they can't. It was so chaotic at the beginning that you weren't quite sure what was going on. And then, this is what I love. Every time somebody got bit, it was stretchy. Like it was like
so cool.
It was like mozzarella string cheese, and so
It's a Charleston Chew.
so I love this movie so much, and I was happy that we got to watch it again. What do you think?
Yeah. Out of zombie movies, this is like top tier stuff. So good. Iconic acting from Forey, Galen Ross, the gentleman who played Roger, of course. As she pointed out, the relationship between Forey's character and Roger was excellent. Like that was like some of the best acting throughout the entire movie. And as she said again, like you really cared about these characters, and it was really quite amazing how good they were with the chemistry and everything else in the film. Just totally awesome. I was also surprised that, and this is funny because I've seen this film a few times. I just never really paid attention. Never knew that Argento and Claudio had been involved with this film in any way. So it's kind of surprising to me that they were both involved a little bit with the script and also the music. But you could hear the music. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together initially. So it's kind of cool to see that. I read that there's an alternative ending to this. I don't know if it's actually on film or not, but from what I've read, the ending they actually have is the one I really prefer. I like the more happier ending, I guess you'd put it.
Oh, wow.
What's the ending?
Yeah, what is it?
The alternative ending is that Forey's character commits suicide, and then Galen Ross, her character, actually commits suicide by helicopter, just like the zombie. But
Oh my God.
Yeah, but apparently they just took that out. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they technically took that out of the script. They tried a few test screens, but
I love how she was waiting for him.
yeah,
Like she knew.
Yeah.
just holding on that little
As
extra
long as she
time.
possibly could, and as soon as she saw him, she kind of felt like a little relief, like I'm not alone.
Right.
Wow.
For a 2.5 hour movie, this didn't even feel like it. It runs smoothly.
Yeah.
You know, you're not bored. There's no dragging. Very good film. We did notice a little bit, like unlike Night of the Living Dead, where we started to hear about the racial issues and stuff at the end. This one actually just brings it right out to you in the front to start the whole film. And that was an interesting aspect that Romero used. And then my only other point is, when Zack Snyder did the remake, I really enjoyed that as well. Like that changed a little different things with the faster zombies and all this. But I actually kind of appreciated that Zack was nodding to this movie to do that. That was a really cool change.
I mean, it wasn't just a zombie movie. It was a movie about like society and relationships and like social constraints. It's not just like, oh, there's a bunch of zombies running around. It's like you see how people are reacting to things and how they're acting, and you know there's always going to be the crazy motorcycle people, and then there's always going to be like the sensible people. And people don't want to share, and there's scarcity. So, but yes, sorry, we talk too much.
No, that's fine. All right, Tony.
Yeah, everybody hit a lot of good points on this. Fantastic movie. I first time I ever saw this,
I can't get my finger to go that way.
I was in Walmart and I rented it beforehand, and I wanted to get something to eat with it, to watch it. So I got those sleeves of like the cheap cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Am I muted?
No,
you're good.
Oh, the way you're like, he was going like this, like, what's going on? So like I got like
I'm old. I have to lean over to read comments.
Well,
like
you
this,
can't hear out of your microphone. But like the sleeves of cookies, like the white cookies, like cheap ones with the vanilla in the middle. I like had those. So every time I would watch this, I've gotten over it now. But like every time for a while, I would watch this, I'd have to get those. And yeah, it's just I'm fucked up. And the beginning, they throw you right in. There's no wasting time in this. And the racial stuff too. It's like nowadays you watch and it's like, holy shit! Like how they'd never get away with that now. But Romero did that. Could you please shut up? I'm talking. I'm only kidding. Everybody's asshole just tightened up there. Like, oh, God. But like I like to think of that like especially in Day of the Dead. I think it's way worse with the way. Not Rickles, but the other guy, Rhodes. No, not Rhodes. The other guy, he's like really racist. It's like, the way Romero does that with them, it's like you're not supposed to like those guys at all, and he just ups it. Like, yeah, this is a piece of shit person. When he goes, you're gonna like it. That's the kind of thing with him. But yeah, this is a fantastic movie. I met a few of the people from the movie. Like I met the Harry Krishna zombie. He was really, really nice. He was in. I was trying to find a picture to send you to show on here, but I don't know where it is. It's on like Instagram or something. But he's like doing this to me, and I'm like that. He's really cool.
Nice.
I met the helicopter zombie, Jim Cruitt, and he talked to me for about a half hour. He's a really nice guy. Like it was just I met some people from Day of the Dead. I met Ken Foree at the same convention, and George Romero. Ken Foree was like a great guy to meet and everything. I was like excited to meet him. The cast of characters are great. They're all very likable. Flyboy is very fumbly in the beginning, of course, like we saw the fucking hammer.
This is peak
I love that.
athlete.
I love that.
All right, this is perfection athlete.
I don't know what they were thinking when they filmed that part.
It's like he stepped in a bear trap.
Yeah. How do you work this thing? But like, I don't know. It was like Franny is annoying. Like she is annoying, but she's pregnant, so she has an excuse. But she's not more annoying than Barbara in the original Night of the Living Dead, though.
Oh yeah,
Barbara. Because they gave her something to do later, so that's why I was happy about that.
I also like how when Flyboy came back, how like the doors open and he's just like looking at them, and they're like, "Oh, okay," and then he's like knows that hallway's fake. Or like that thing's fake, and he starts digging at it. It's like I like how they show the memories are still there. Tom Savini's great though. Like it's just such a great run through how they're trying to clean out the mall and everything. I have nothing but good things to say about this. I have no negatives about this movie.
All right.
At all. I also love the blue tint to them. How they're like
yeah.
It's really cool. I love it.
Nice.
Nothing bad to say.
All right. Copy that. Radical Reggie.
He's radical.
No, we're going Reggie first.
Unless
you want to go last.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to talk too long about it, but the movie started out really strong. I mean, like the whole beginning sequence pretty much like tripped me out. Like the whole thing with Willie shooting up people as soon as they open the door and everything like that. I mean, he was going crazy. And I think the part that really got me though is that this movie's like serious is when Peter went into that house and those kids zombies came after him.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I was like, wow, dude, and he had to shoot him.
Those are Tom Savini's niece and nephew, if you don't know.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Just to let you guys know. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, right on. So from that point on, you know, I was just like, wow. But I love the movie so much, and but honestly, I think the movie kind of took a downfall for me is when, you know, Peter got injured. You know, because Peter was my favorite character. Well, not Peter. I'm sorry, Roger. My favorite character in the movie. And when I saw him, I was like, man, this is like the whole sequence of him, like, you know, going through the slow transformation, being sick, you know, being carried around. And this really got to me. And, you know, and then when he finally went away, I was like, man, you know, I don't know.
By the ass.
That's when you know it's effective, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I really cared about the characters in this movie. I just feel like when Peter checked out, man, I almost did too. But that doesn't take it away from the movie at all.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, because, you know, him and Roger and Peter were great together, like you were saying earlier. And the whole cast was great. I mean, that crew that they had together, they were great. But it just never ends like happy in a zombie movie. You know, that's just the way it goes. So, but Dawn of the Dead, definitely one of my top 5 favorites of all time.
Nice. Copy that. I'm gonna leave Joel last because he's the storyteller.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He knows, right? Like, okay.
All right. So I did really like this movie. Like I said, I grew up watching it. I was, you know, born in 92, but I did grow up watching it in the late 90s. And I do like the way the story's told. And George A. Romero is obviously the king of zombie movies in terms of their origins. I did have a couple issues with the movie, but I want to kind of talk about the things that I liked first. The story itself is super iconic, you know, with the zombie outbreak and then a group of people going by helicopter to a mall. You know, I mean, it's in every zombie movie to date since then, or it seems like it, and it's in every zombie video game. I mean, it's like it kind of became the staple piece of zombie cinema and entertainment in general. So you definitely have to give it props there. I love the way the movie starts in the newsroom. That opening scene is, I thought, maybe one of the top 3 scenes in the whole movie, just the way it gets chaotic, and they start even telling their producers and everybody, like, you know, screw you, man, we're out of here. This stuff's getting freaking real. We're out. And I love that. The gore and practical effects are amazing, especially for their time. You do have to view these movies if you viewed them after their release date in more modern times. You have to view them in the mindset that you're viewing them in 78, because, you know, there are some issues, but in terms of the effects and like the blood and gore, I think they stand even today. I really do. They look so good. Here we go. What do we got here? Oh yeah, no, they're coming after me now. And the
on stream, I don't mean to cut you off. That on Streamlabs, that image there is when I have a new follower come on.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet. Here we come. That's fantastic. No, you're good, man. Anytime. I love the way they transform. I like the way that George A. Romero does it, even since, you know, his earliest films, where they look human. You know, like if they first become a zombie, they pretty much look human, and then they slowly start to kind of get that blue and more distorted, kind of sucked in face look. This story is much longer and bigger compared to Day of the Dead. But I do disagree in that I feel like it does feel really long. I thought that and I don't know what version I watched. It was like, I think you said like 2.5 hours. I think the one I watched was right about 2.5 hours, but I thought it did drag a little bit at times. Like in between locations, like from where the newsroom and then to the mall, and then, you know, I don't know. It just kind of felt like there were spots that did drag, and I was kind of like, all right, let's do something here. But Ken Foree, or Foree, I'm not sure how you've met him. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but
I still don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I thought Foree when I first saw it, but I don't know. But this is the shining light in this whole movie. He is fantastic. I just thought he did a great job in his role. He looked the part. He did the part. He acted the part. I don't know. He stood out for me above everybody else. I liked all the characters, but in terms of acting, I thought he really was a notch above everybody else in this movie. And I thought the deaths were really good. I thought, like we discussed earlier, the scene where he's about to come back and he's like, "Don't shoot me
Beautiful.
until I come back. I'm going to try not to." It was, oh my God, I almost cried. It was fantastic.
It's powerful.
I think I did cry when I was like, 4 or 5, however old I was when I watched this. But like, it was just a great scene.
That was
I think I cried. I cried
Like, what time is it?
2 days ago. I bawled my eyes out. But this movie did so much for zombies and horror in general, honestly. And I wish I could say it was my favorite zombie movie, but I did have some issues with it, like the other acting, other than like the top 2 or 3, I thought was, a little bit distractingly bad. The dialogue seems simple for a movie that is super ambitious in every other department, and you can't blame the movie because the time that it was made in, but it seems like it doesn't have a great the sound design I had a problem with. There are times where I can almost not even hear the dialogue because the music's blaring. And like I said, you can't really blame the movie for that itself. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I really do like this movie. It's a great movie. I would say one of my top probably 6 or 7 zombie movies of all time.
All right, copy that. Joel, Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, sorry, we got some glitchers coming in, so I'm just responding.
Yay!
I tweeted out the stream telling Reggie to retweet. He's not listening to me though.
I did.
Do it, Reggie, do it.
Okay, let me start by saying thanks for leaving me last, because then I don't have to touch on everything that everyone else said. But man, when I saw this episode go up, like you were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this versus," I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!" Because one of these movies, I won't say till the end, is on my top 10 movies of all time.
Nice.
Now, Dawn of the Dead. Oh my gosh, man, I don't think it's slow at all. Not, flick snacks. No. Like every moment, everything they put in there, I just love it. I could watch it all the time. It never gets old for me. I love how it starts, just balls to the wall, like craziness, and you're just like you're catching up. You're always running behind Romero, what he's doing, what he's putting on the screen, And I just love the obviously the social commentary that he doesn't. He beats you over the head with it on this one, like you said, Metal Tavern. That it was very like subtle in the first one, but here he didn't care. He just yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And how he touches
Phil.
on yeah,
Boom.
how he touches on consumerism and economic, all of that. I love that too, because it's like where would zombies go if they died? To the place they always went, You got Dario Argento producing, and if you don't know, Suspiria is like one of my favorite films of all time.
Yes, sir.
And so to have him attached, and I don't know if people know this, but there are actually 2 scores of this movie. There's like the Italian score, like from Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw that.
I think that's the one I watched.
Who did Suspiria as well, and then I know that they changed and did a different score. I don't know if it was just in the States or what, but there's 2 different versions out there from what I understand. And it's an introduction, I think, to Tom Savini for most people, who is, my hat's off to him, other people's heads off to him. Like he's just amazing, and this is the gig that would later get him into Friday the 13th and just spiral that career. And man, I love this movie. Man, I love this movie. I can't even explain how much I love this movie. It does have, if you never noticed, you guys know about the trampoline zombie and all that stuff. If you watch it really closely, you can see when he gets hit, you can literally see a trampoline that he's jumping on. It has its things, but I think that makes me love it more, and it's definitely the biggest of the trilogy. as far as scope, where we
Yeah.
get to see how far like the U.S. is all infected. You know, he's got the army in there, like the real army too. They weren't actors. He got the real Pennsylvania, because you know, like Romero's got, you know, big clout over there where he lives. So he's like, everyone wanted to be a part of that movie. You know, you get to see, you know, the effects of the zombie apocalypse, and it's very wide open shots, hundreds of zombies everywhere. It just, oh my gosh, so good, right? Which we'll talk about later, the opposite for Day of the Dead, right? But what else can I say about this movie that hasn't been said? It's just it's awesome. I did take some notes, and I don't know where I put them all. I will say that I do remember watching it as a kid, and when they get to the pie fight, I'm like, the heck is going on here? I think that's a moment where I'm always like, what is going on here? But they Romero follows it up with like some of the greatest deaths immediately after that. Like he goes, okay, here's a little bit of laughter because we are about to blow your freaking mind and rip these people apart. And a lot of people complain about the makeup, you know, that they were just like walking Smurfs, you know, or something. But like, I don't know. I think for the time, like for the time, like that, I don't know. I never minded it. I was totally down with it, you know. And I know I know that Tom Savini originally wanted them to look gray, and sometimes they looked blue. So it wasn't his. And he would change that makeup palette for Day. But man, dude, I love this movie, man. Like, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man.
I can talk more about it, but I know you don't want a 4-hour versus episode, so I'll just shut up.
The first 4-hour verses. Oh man, nice. Well said.
All about Dawn of the Dead.
I know.
In another version of this, I think it's the Dario cut.
Dario made it his own cut.
Yeah, Rhodes is actually in it in the extra scenes. Yes, but it's not Rhodes though, but it's the same guy.
Actor,
right? Yeah. It's the same actor.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen?
We got any cigarettes?
I know. I want to know what happened with that crew.
I love that part.
What happened?
Got any cigarettes and they all light up after they.
I was thinking about that. There was, this is from the 70s. There's a lot of smoking, and I'm like, they had like this unlimited supply of cigarettes. Like, I know they're in a mall, so there's probably a store that has cigarettes, but everybody just always had cigarettes in this movie.
Probably like in the actors' contracts, like I'll only do the movie if you let me smoke constantly.
But I always wondered what happened to the actor who played Rhodes and his group when they went off in their boat. I always wondered what happened to them in the movie, but
they got on that island.
They got on the island.
Yeah.
There's one thing. This is a classic movie, 5 stars. But there's one thing everybody forgot. Everyone forgot to mention about the MVP of the movie. The MVP.
The
Let me check my blood pressure right now.
I don't care if there's a zombie apocalypse going on. I will get my blood pressure checked.
I'm concerned about my high blood pressure.
I forgot about that guy.
I did too.
Me and my buddy were watching the movie. We're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
The wackest moment ever. He's like, oh, sorry, gotta wait, guys. Gotta do this.
Yeah, MVP of the movie, this guy here, man. Oh my God, I was in tears. I was laughing. All right, let's get to the.
I'm trying to follow everybody on.
Let's get to the next one here. All right, another classic, Day of the Dead. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I really love Nick Cannon in this movie, man. Nick Cannon was fantastic.
I think I watched
killed it. Not the right one? Oh, okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
Vegetarian zombie.
You were wrong. I was good. Okay, no.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Hey. 1985. Day of the Dead. That's right. Starring Laurie Cardill, Terry Alexander as John, Joseph Pilato, that's his name, who's Rhodes, and many others. But let's go ahead and get into the plot synopsis here. As the world is overrun by zombies, a small group of scientists and military personnel dwelling in an underground bunker in Florida must determine whether they should educate eliminate or escape the undead horde. All right. Day of the Dead. So, again, I ended up watching this with my same buddy. He's like, we gotta watch Day of the Dead now. We got to do that together. And man, what a badass and entertaining and definitely over the top and funny movie. But this was just a lot of fun. I love this movie too. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Personal vote. I love the movie.
I got no problem.
Really do. I love it a lot. But there's lots to talk about it. But I won't talk too much. And Joel, you're gonna go right after me. How's that? There.
You sure?
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, definitely some fun characters in this. I actually love the lead actress. She's really good. I like her character in this. Strong,
She's fantastic.
not taking no bullshit. Really loved her character. I don't know. Was it me or the Jamaican brother over here? Did he want some of that? Let's go off to an island. Let's have some babies.
Yeah, and that one scene when they're just sitting there talking.
Yeah. I was like, I think he wants something there.
Look at him in that picture. He's got like the shifty eyes. I think he's looking at her ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I looked it up, and Jamaica dude is from Detroit, and his accent kind of bothers me a little bit. But we won't get into that.
He said when he goes to cons, he has to actually talk that way, or they don't believe him.
It was the worst fake accent ever. I
That's
was
some ganja, man.
oh my goodness.
sorry.
But enjoyed. He made me laugh at some points a little bit too.
Yes.
But her character was really, really great in this film. I really liked her. And I don't know, but this guy has to go down in one of the worst movie horror boyfriends
100%.
ever. If there's a top 10 worst boyfriend in a horror movie,
I would go further than that. I would say top 10 worst people.
Yeah, there you go. In movie history.
He didn't die soon enough.
Yeah. I was hoping this was real. I really was hoping this was not a dream. I was hoping this was real. But yeah, what a douchebag. But even Dr. Wiley here.
Dr. Wiley.
Even Dr. Wiley here, very good performance from this guy.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying to figure shit out, but you can tell there's some screws loose as well. But my favorite character in the movie.
Then agree.
Will you guys shut
up? I mean,
I'm running this monkey farm here now, Frankenstein. What are you doing with my time?
For you? I always laugh when he traps when he throws the girl in Mr. Bean in the zombie pit to kind of there you go, you're gonna die now. Give us your guns and go die.
Mr. Bean.
And and as they're running away, he goes, "Run, you fucking lunatics!" That always makes me laugh, dude. Oh, he was so over the top and chewing the scenery in every best way. But my second favorite character in the movie is Bob.
Stop it.
Hey, what are you doing?
Changing the screen, bro.
Who is that?
Oh, it's fun to torture the ones you love.
Hashtag not my bubs.
Hey, there we go. The real Bub.
There
That's
we go.
right. Hey, don't fuck with Bub. Bub will fuck you up.
You
That's
don't
right.
salute him. What happens if you don't salute him?
But love the makeup effects and the performance from this guy. The physical performance is really
Sherman
good.
Howard, man.
Really good, man. Really
Yes.
impressed. And just this movie it satisfies the gore hound.
Yeah,
It just
look at that.
it scratches the itch, man. It really does.
100.
But yeah, love the finale when shit went down. Love that.
Yeah.
But enough of my yakking. And of course, choke on him. But I'll let somebody else talk about that. I'm talking to you.
Oh yeah, I have that in my
Choke on
quotes
him.
list.
All right, Lindsay.
Talk about it, man.
Oh no, sorry, Joel.
I
Oh
want to hear you
man.
choke on him, though.
Oh, okay. So the first time we saw this is like this has to be one of the greatest horror movie kills in horror movie history. This is just like, look at that, sausages, right? And we were all like, me and my buddy were like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And then when he's all like, we were like, what did he say? So we rewinded it and put the subtitles on, and when we found out that he's yelling at the motherfucking zombies, choke on them because they're eating his parts. I was like, oh, this is the fun. Can I get the T-shirt?
Exactly.
Yeah, we lost it. We lost
Choke
it. So
on
okay,
Choke
now
on
enough of that. Enough
All
of me
right.
yakking. Joel.
Great.
Okay, so Day of the Dead, very claustrophobic compared to the open world that we were in the last one. And this, you get Tom Savini back on his A game. The makeup effects are out of this world, and you also get the introduction of Nicotera, is that who goes on to do everything after that as far as makeup. Man, a great makeup crew. And speaking of that choke on them scene, most people, horror fanatics, will know this, but maybe them in the chat, they didn't know someone forgot to plug in the refrigerator before that scene, so the pig guts had been sitting there rotting for days. And you can look up the behind the scenes where you just see Rhodes and he's just like, he's covering his nose in this scene, like in between takes, and he's just covering his nose because the stench is so foul and so nasty.
Yeah.
But that is, and I agree, Rhodes being the greatest person in this movie, like the reason you watch it is for this guy. But such a commitment to sit there with those rotting guts.
Hey, they went method. They went method.
You
went
could
method acting, Joel.
Like trying to wave the set away from him, because they felt so bad.
Dang, man! I
You
didn't know
have
that.
the beginning is just amazing when she's having the dream and all those hands pop out of that wall. I love that effect. It's so effective and so beautiful. And the only time you're out in this movie is right there when they're kind of you get to see they call him Dr. Tongue, if you don't know, which is a great zombie. I think they even made a toy of that zombie. Yeah. Do you have it, Mr. Tony of the Dead? I thought you were gonna go get it. Oh, so they have that.
Nope.
And of course Bob is goes down as one of the greatest zombies.
Absolutely.
I'm always like, who's better, Bub or Tarman? I don't know.
That's tough.
And sadly, the movie didn't do as well as they were hoping, because you did have Return of the Living Dead that came out on the same year, and there was confusion there and stuff. And I think people were such fans of Dawn. I guess it just took a totally different turn. And if you don't know, I read it about 10 years ago before I was about to go into directing another movie, and I wrote the original, or I read the original script. And if you haven't read it, it is amazing. Read the original Day of the Dead script. He just couldn't get the money, and then he ended up making this version. But check that out. Those horror fans.
Oh wow.
What else do we have here? I'm trying to think. Bob,
do we have Zombie Croc?
That's what I want to know.
Croc.
Is he really a zombie from eating the zombies? So he became a zombie croc?
I don't think so. But we
just
could
hanging
make
out.
one.
His mouth looks taped shut, though. I can see that.
And I'll say this is a 5-star movie for me as well.
Hey,
both of these movies are 5 stars. I love this movie. Man, I love this movie. It's so good. I also, what was I going to say? There's something else I was going to say. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Did a zombie eat your brain?
Well, Miguel. Okay, this is the bad part of the movie. Miguel, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like he's a man baby for one.
Oh, he's terrible.
Dude, he's always crying, and I love it when he gets it. But if Miguel's character is like, okay, he ups the risk factor and the danger factor by 1,000 because of what he does. I remember watching that scene when the lift goes down and there's hundreds of zombies entering in. That's the redeeming factor of Miguel, just taking this movie to a whole nother level. And then you get to see the greatest makeup work in your life. It's still amazing today. It's like, holy smokes. Like that has to be Savini's magnum opus. I don't know, but some of the stuff that you get to see after that point is so good. I don't know. I could go. I could talk all day about this movie, but I'm sorry, it took too much time. All right.
I love the scream. I love the scream. How it went from regular scream to high pitch.
That's very cool that they added that detail to that. That's probably what would happen.
Phenomenal.
Let me just say, the scientist, amazing as well.
Yeah.
Like before Rhodes gives that epic speech, like that whole scene. If I just have the movie going on in the background and that scene comes on, I just stop what I'm doing and I watch that scene. That's the whole monkey farm dialogue and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the scientist, when he sits down and he's like, "Is there food?" He doesn't even care about
dinner.
Rhodes. Yeah.
Excuse me. Is there food?
So good. It's so good, man. You got to watch this movie just for Rhodes. Like,
it
makes it amazing. And it's sad that we lost him a couple years ago. Too bad. Too bad.
Oh, R.I.P. Though we're representing though. We're talking about the movies today. All right. Anything else, Joel?
No, that's it, man.
All right.
And let me just say this. I know this is
You're good.
This
You're
is the
good.
I'm
best
chilling.
cover for this movie.
Oh, that is a badass cover.
I love this cover. Even though I own I don't know how many versions of Day of the Dead I own, but this is my favorite one.
Oh,
nice.
Love it.
All right, let's switch it up. Let's go to Reggie.
All right, so what I liked about this movie the most, of course, the character development. Sarah's character was awesome. I felt like she was a very smart protagonist because she wasn't like acting real heroic. She was like listening to what was going on around her and kind of like assessing the situation and playing her cards right. So that was great. Bob as a zombie, I thought was terrifying because like the zombie has intelligence and everything like that. So with the part where he had the gun, can you imagine if a zombie couldn't catch you, so it pull out a gun on you instead?
Break yourself.
So that was a trip. Something else I wanted to touch on too. I just totally forgot. I felt like the movie's zombies were a lot more terrifying than the ones in Dawn of the Dead. Way better makeup. I mean, Dawn of the Dead ones were cool, but there wasn't a fear factor for me around them. Like going back to the pie scene and stuff like that, if the zombies looked like they did in Day of the Dead, like nobody would be trying to get close to them. It was insane. So I felt like I just totally forgot everything I was going to say, but I don't want to talk too long. But
hey, if it comes up later, just bounce in.
But
if you remember later, just
and obviously the worst thing, Miguel was annoying from the beginning, and you kind of knew that he was gonna like mess things up. He was just sitting there just complaining the whole movie. Even the way he looks is annoying. He just want to, you know what I mean? Like, gosh.
Someone said he looks like Osama bin Laden.
You're you're stronger than all of us. So what?
Oh gosh.
So what?
Anything I could change.
He was supposed to be a soldier, right? He's like a soldier, so it's like, what the heck?
I wanted to break
I don't
his
know what
neck.
it is, but you got a very punchable face. I just want to punch you in the face.
Yes.
I like the little safe haven they had. Like when they took a break from everything, they had their little like set up to like a beach and everything like that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, that's about it I could say about the movie right now. I liked almost all the characters in the movie because even the bad guys were hilarious. I mean, the part where Steel right there.
Steel. My favorite.
Yeah, the whole part where he had to
Steel's
try to
awesome.
like run and get that cart. It was hilarious.
And then before he dies, he does his little.
Like, where are you going, buddy?
Oh yeah.
I would have loved that there was no bullet in that gun, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. There's no bullet in it. Oh man.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Dang, I never thought about that.
I fully expected it, but it didn't happen.
That's
They do
crazy.
that in Deep Rising with the
Yeah.
guy at the end where he shoots the guy and wastes the last bullet before he can kill himself. That's an awesome scene.
That reminds me of, what is it, The Mist? Is that The Mist?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Where he does that dude, Thomas Jane? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That
ashamed.
was
Wow.
such a good ending.
Oh,
we're here for that movie.
oh,
We're talking about that movie too.
That movie broke me. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah.
Anything else, Reggie?
I just noticed this too, that Rhodes was actually in freaking Dawn of the Dead. I didn't notice that before. That tripped me out. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So very cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got about Dawn of the Dead. I mean, sorry,
Day
Day
of
of
the
the Dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Awesome. Awesome.
Easy
All
to
right.
confuse.
Tony.
Day of the Dead, again, this is another one that I've watched almost as much as Dawn of the Dead. I like that the zombies are kind of like what they were doing before when they got killed, bit or whatever. I like the uniform, like you see a clown, you
Yes.
see like the football guy, and
ballerina.
it's kind of cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of cool. I like the whole thing too, like when they first fly into, and they're looking for people, and like the money's just blowing around because it's like it means nothing anymore. The way that paper flies up, like the dead walk, that's like such a cool way they did that. I like how they're just like, and they do that even in like a Walking Dead. Like if somebody hasn't come by in a long time, they're just kind of asleep. Like they're just kind of lounging, whatever. And then all of a sudden nobody's moving around in the city, and all of a sudden, hello, and then they're like, the fuck, Dr. Tongue,
Like food.
yeah. There's me coming out of the
Ringing the
bank.
dinner bell.
Yeah, they're like, we're right, hello. But
Did you guys know
like,
Tony was in the movie?
yeah, that's me.
That was awesome, bro.
That's how I get up and downstairs.
That's
Have
after
to hold on
Tony
to
hits
the wall.
Taco Bell right there with the burritos.
That's right. And then they get out of there, and but the way they see the streets and they're just filling up, like that's terrifying. People are like, I can't just get away from these things, like because there's so fucking many of them. Like I'd be dead, and if they're fast, like in a remake, I'm dead even sooner.
Yeah.
But then they get back to that underground thing, which again, like Joel said, claustrophobic. I would be terrified in there. It's cool too how that was like a real place that they were shooting in and all that. I like the characters a lot. I like that those two guys are chill. Again, I'll talk about Miguel quickly. The worst
Everyone's favorite.
toxic relationship I've ever seen. On screen. They don't even give you time to like, oh, that sucks. They were such a nice couple. It's just he's a piece of shit right away. And the part
It
that's
almost
like,
makes Sarah's character down a bit because you're like,
yeah, like what is she seeing him?
yeah, exactly. Why
like
was
the
she
biggest
with this
meat in the
idiot?
cave is there? What is she doing with him? You know what I mean? Oh, you biggest meat in the cave. Which also, I was watching this today and I thought Rickles kind of looks like Sexy Sumo. I was gonna say, I didn't know he was
Sexy
in this.
Sumo's in this movie
I
too.
didn't know
All
he was in
right.
this. But yeah, we don't like to talk about it much. But like I don't know who my favorite character is. I like Rhodes a lot. I like the bad guys, even though they're pieces of shit. Like they're not supposed to be bad. They're
That's
supposed to be on
bad
our
when you
side.
like the bad guys more than Miguel.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah.
He's
Way
just
more.
annoying. I like too, like how, like the part where he says "so fucking what." Like I love that part of it. Yeah, I love that speech. He's like, because he's like ready to break. He's ready. He's dangerous. He could kill all them, and he's like, I know you're strong, stronger than me, stronger than all.
Oh, God.
So
So
what?
what?
That line.
So fucking what? I love that. I love how he's like, fuck you, basically. And I just don't understand what she sees in him. But anyway, I like Dr. Frankenstein is great.
He's awesome.
I don't know why he always reminded me of Chevy Chase,
Huh.
like a relative.
Well, before you said that, I couldn't see it, but now thanks.
Like he's great. Bub is probably my favorite zombie ever.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say. I got to meet him too. And
Oh,
he was
nice.
a really nice guy. I got to meet John Amplas at a convention, and I said this the other night. When we reviewed Bad Moon, because he's in that, I said about he's the kind of guy I thought like you could ask, hey, do you want to go get a beer, and he'll go with you. Like he was just so nice. I also met Terry Alexander, and I was so nervous at the convention. The same convention I met like John Foray and that. I was so nervous and stupid. I go, so did you ever make it off that island? And he goes, oh, I did, man.
Oh my god.
And I thought, what did I just ask him?
And I made some babies.
With the son.
And that's another thing too. Like I feel like that would be my attitude in one of these. Like he's like, we go somewhere, get juiced up, and sit and soak in the sunshine while we still can. You could do all that while this is going on. Hell, I could do all that when this isn't going on. Like that's me. I'll sit on a beach anytime. But I just I like the development of now. Hey, the zombies, they could learn. There's like Bub he got legitimately upset when he saw Frankenstein was dead. Why didn't he turn? Why didn't Frankenstein turn? I think that would have been cool if they made him a zombie.
Right.
I guess you have to get bit to turn.
Well,
only
no.
How did he die? I can't remember how he died.
Yeah, you die and you come back. Yeah, but not in the head.
Well, he was shot a lot. So I don't know.
They also put a clip. They also put a shovel through a zombie's head, and he was looking around. So.
Yeah, but if he wasn't infected before he died.
Well, that's the whole thing with it. Like you die, you come back. Like look at Roger. He got bit, but there's other ones that come back when I don't know.
No, it's a good point.
I think they're still establishing the rules there, because there was a lot of Okay, so Dan O'Bannon, who did Return of the Living Dead, right? I think he and the guy who wrote Return of the Living Dead actually helped write the first Night of the Living Dead, right? So there was always like this debate where they were going to take that whole zombie, what they were going to do, and in Return of the Living Dead, it was like, that's where they eat brains and they all this and that.
Came getting shot in the head, it doesn't matter.
So I think they were still establishing the rules of this world.
Okay,
still, and Romero went this way, Dan O'Bannon went the other way, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's like two different worlds because like Return of the Living Dead, you get shot in the head, and everybody knows about that. And Dawn of the Dead is like, pretty much with zombies, like you get shot in the head, you're dead.
Right.
But then they shot him in the head, and it's like they're not going down. It's like that's pretty scary.
Right.
So I don't know. I just thought it would be cool. Frankenstein would come back, and maybe him and Bub would be in that hallway after Rhodes or something. That'd be neat. Rhodes,
sure.
and
I wouldn't be against it.
No, I'm talking a lot, but
it's okay.
Thank you.
No, it's not. You're getting banned. There's the ban button here. No, go ahead.
What?
No.
Go ahead, brother.
But like when Rhodes gets ripped apart in that, and the whole thing with the smelling of the pig stuff and that, like I saw that clip too because they go cut and he's
he's ready to
throw up.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
I seen an
crazy.
interview with him right before he died, and he talked about how he can still smell it to this day.
That's how bad it was. Wow.
Like it messed up his brain. Like it's just forever printed in there.
Yeah. I'll cut it short now. It's 5 stars for me with this one as well. Like
all right.
They're both great, iconic. I love the development of the zombie because then in Land of the Dead you get Big Daddy, who's like starting to talk to them and stuff, communicate. It's kind of scary. Some
There's
people might
stuff in
not
Land
like
of the
that.
Dead that was in the original script.
Oh,
Day of the Dead. So
I could see that.
So he brought some of those ideas over.
Oh, shut up! That's awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because
I
in
didn't
the
get a chance
beginning,
to
right?
finish the. Oh, go ahead, Joel.
No, in that script of the Day of the Dead, the original, when they first get to the island, Sarah and them, they actually see the army. They have zombies working for them. In the arm, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
I'll have to read that script. I never.
That sounds amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. I was like, oh gosh, so good. Like as a filmmaker myself, I'm like, what if I could get this greenlit and make the movie that Romero wanted to make?
That would be amazing.
I've thought that so many
I'd have to
times.
get bigger, of course.
Then you have to cast Tony in it, walking out.
He'll come out the bank.
croc.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
I'll be the crocodile.
I'll be the crocodile.
Well, also, just to add on to what you said about the claustrophobic and that basically that a bomb shelter that they filmed in, I guess it really started to wear on them because they hadn't seen light in so long. They had to get vitamin D shots throughout the week.
Wow.
And they everyone's getting they're getting this cabin fever, and that's what I love about this movie because it reflects on their performances, and you can see that they're really probably agitated while they're talking and they're doing that.
Man.
That tension and that aggravation is there.
Wow. Wow. Well, when going up, bouncing off of what Tony was mentioning earlier about the toxic relationship between Miguel, I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I started the Day of the Dead audio commentary, and she said that scene where he slaps her twice.
Mm-hmm.
She said she wanted it to look real. So he was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Let me have it. I want to.
So
Let's go method. Let's
like
go
a
real."
whole
Yeah. So those were real slaps.
Nice.
She wanted it real. That's all
I don't know if I
badass
could do
of
that.
an actor.
I don't know. Yeah, that's awesome of her, but I don't know if I could do that. That's
Yeah, that's tough.
That was crazy though.
I feel like I would have the natural reaction to smack back. Like even if I'm acting, they'd be like smack. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
she's
right.
One
a
minute,
theatrical actress.
Lindsay.
I know she
Day of
did
the Dead.
theater, and she's the daughter of someone
okay, never
from
mind.
Dawn of the Dead.
Never mind. All right. Okay, you ready? All right, Lindsay, Day of the Dead.
See on my glasses.
Another one of my favorite zombie movies. The biggest thing that sticks out to me when I watch this movie is how much of a nightmare it would be to be Sarah in this situation.
Mhm.
And to be the only woman in this situation and have to deal with all this stuff going on.
Mhm.
And
Good call, good
deal
call.
with all these dudes pent up and whatever, and you get a good dichotomy between militaristic thinking and science thinking and how those clash together and how differently they want to do things. And I think those are the two things that come to the forefront the most for me in this film. I love the gore. I love Bub. All those sequences are so much fun. And just, it shows just the worst of human nature in this film. Just the absolute worst. Because for a majority of the film, the zombies are the secondary threat. It's the people around you that are the biggest threat. So that's why I love this movie.
Nice, awesome.
Like this, give us all a chance to get some loving.
Yeah.
So creepy.
I'm so glad she brought that
So
up.
creepy. So creepy.
I've thought about that.
Rapey vibes.
How scary
Creepy.
that is.
Yeah.
And
And she's tough though. I mean, she's almost Ripley-esque kind
Yeah.
of character.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
way
really
different
is.
from the other films. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like his female characters have just grown so
Yes,
much.
very much so.
Yeah.
Once we get
She
to
was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
All right, Derek.
All right. Okay, so the first point I have is about her. She was amazing. I love her character, and like you said, she was extremely strong. One of the points I took away was that as well, how she was the only female character involved in the situation. And when was it Steele? Was it Steele that said that? Can we all get some love in or something like that?
No,
But anyway,
Rhodes.
Rhodes. Okay, I couldn't quite remember who it was, but yeah, it's just it made me feel dirty, and I was just like, God, I feel for her so bad. But her character remained strong the whole time, even though you did get to see some sides of her that were scared, and so like human. She wasn't this completely invulnerable Terminator, but she was just this really strong person, and she was a great character. Bub was a great character. Like somebody else already said, maybe the greatest zombie of all time. Dr. Frankenstein, who helped make Bub, was amazing. His actor did a great job. It could be seen as cheesy, maybe over the top by some people today, but just the role he played, and when I saw it in the 90s, when that sort of cheesy-esque vibe was still really popular, it really worked, and it still does for me today. I don't know how it would for somebody watching it for the first time now, but it worked really good for me. The kills I liked a lot better in this movie, even though there were a lot fewer of them, so that does play a little bit of a part. I like how this one kind of plays into its campiness, whereas the other one had some campy bits, but it was maybe on accident. And this one more so kind of plays into that and decides, oh God. So when he did that, that's one of the main scenes that pops into my head when I think about that. Just that, it's so great. And the dialogue because of that is really good. Like, somebody said choke on them, and somebody, you're on my shit list, flyboy. And like I said, less but better deaths. But some of the cons, some of the things I see in it that, I don't know, like, some of the characters kind of inexplicably change their viewpoints. So I noticed from like scene to scene one character would say like, "There's too many of them, we can't go there," and somebody would be like, "No, we have to." Well, like they would just switch camera angles, and then they're arguing different points of view. So I don't know. There was some, a little bit of discrepancy there. Some of the zombies weren't great at their zombie roles. Looking around and cutting their eyes, like looking at the camera, like, "Oh, am I a zombie?
Is it my turn?
yeah, am I on screen?" And like everybody already touched on, but I have to say it because it is so obvious that Miguel made me want to turn my TV screen off every time he was on the screen. For the love of God, I wish
Derek. So what?
Such a strong female character. What is she doing with that son of a bitch?
Yeah.
But okay, so again, like I said about the last one, I really do love this movie. It's in my, kind of same top category. So it was really hard for me to choose which one of these to pick. And I know which one I'm going to pick, but it was really hard. It wasn't a, runaway. And so that's about all I have to say about it, but I do really like it. It's one of my top 6 or 7, like I said about the last one.
Nice. All right. Now it's the tag team champions.
That's right. Here.
A delay.
Ding.
Ding.
I think Lindsay and I are like in the same wavelength because I was thinking a lot about her too. Like she's all by herself and she's a woman and this is like a bunch of bullshit, but she has to kind of deal with it. And like, I'm not going to expand on this.
Weak as shit.
Huh?
Her boyfriend's weak as
I know.
shit.
Right?
Yeah,
that makes
right.
it even worse. Oh my gosh.
So I work in a primarily male-dominated field, and I sail on ships. So, like, there have been times where I literally was the only female on board on a ship, and it is very claustrophobic, and it is you by yourself. I totally felt that. Like, trust me, when you were Joel, when you were talking about like the vitamin D shots and everything, I like when I go out, because I usually work nights and it's indoors, I never go outdoors, so I always take extra vitamin D. And like when you can see that in the people, it was fantastic. Like the gore is so good. And I told you in the last movie, I love the string cheese effect. I don't know what that effect is, but there was extra string cheese and it was extra mozzarella this time.
Yummy.
I don't know what to call it.
Yes.
I'm lactose.
I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting hungry for some reason.
Check out that cheese pull.
Right? So I also agree about all the campiness because I love good camping movies. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street, the whole series is like my favorite thing, and it gets campier as it goes on, and I grew up on that and I love it. So when you see something like this where you can see people who are in their roles and they're really camping it up, but it's still a really good zombie movie and a really good horror film with a really good like plot and backdrop, I kind of like, you know, I loved it. This movie over Dawn of the Dead, I really do feel the effects were far better. Mm-hmm. Like this that you're showing, Preston, I mean, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. I love things like this. Mm-hmm. I love grossness.
It's fun.
He laughs at me because I love disgusting things. He's like, "Are you watching that again?" And I watch like, yeah. Anyway, so when I see something gross and it looks real, I'm like, all right, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so as everyone touched on, the effects are top notch. You can't really shy away from that. Acting wise, Samurai, you mentioned it with Cardell, Pilato, and Sherman Howard as Bub. I mean, they're like the standouts in this movie, big time. Story wise, I didn't feel as quite as impressive as Dawn, but you know, Joel brought up a really good point about the claustrophobia. So it's more isolated. So it does change the whole dynamic of what we're dealing with here.
There's really only so much you can do instead of a bunker.
Right. So
Oh, the calendars.
Yeah.
So in Dawn of the Dead, the calendars are like a big deal, and they start out with the calendars in both movies. You see the calendars. That was like really awesome. Sorry,
I think it ends too with her making a calendar,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A new one. So
I think don't they do something like that in 28 Days Later too? Something like that.
I think towards
It's
the
been a
end,
long
yeah,
time.
they're marking days to
Yeah.
Hmm.
when they're trying to
When
do
the
something
sun comes back.
The only other thing I'd add is again with something Joel pointed out with the budget and everything. Like this movie is a lot shorter than Dawn, and I had read that Romero like had to cut from like $7 million to 3.5 to do the
Right.
film. So
That's a
where
big cut.
Derek said that he felt like Dawn kind of dragged on, I felt like Day was kind of not fleshed out enough. And it's not
Didn't
really
get a
Romero's
chance.
fault, but that's just how the film ended. And
Yeah.
that right now is kind of like the contrast for me because I felt like they could have did so much more with Day. And Joel said they actually had a plan for that, which I did not know. So that's unfortunate that Romero couldn't do that with this film.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. I think we got everyone. It is time to vote. And when you got two awesome classic movies, Derek is ready to take the toll there. The tally, excuse me. When you have two classic movies going head to head like this, there's no losers here. Both of these movies are amazing. But just for fun, we all have our personal favorites for whatever reason. And Reggie, don't forget, man, you could be critical about your choice, right? Or you can be like, yo, this is the reason and that's it. I'm biased. It's all good.
Tony's out.
And,
He just left.
Tony left. He was too scared.
Oh,
Tony's
he's
like,
got
fuck,
something.
I'm too scared to vote. There he
He's
is.
got a present.
Oh, he has a present. Okay.
That's why I thought he pulled
All right.
something back in. Oh, it's his
All
headphones.
right.
Never mind.
Derek, the badass himself, is keeping score. Let's have some fun voting. Lindsay, Dawn, or Day?
Well, I have my 2 VHS copies here.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
vintage.
Look how nice they are, too.
That's so
I got that
cool.
VHS myself.
Oh, I
Oh,
love. She's VHS girl.
Oh yes, love my VHS. This is a
That's
hard decision because I do love both of these movies, but for the score and the setting, I have to go with Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
I
All
love
right.
those mall sequences. I love the score, and it's just so much fun to watch. So I got
Nice.
Dawn of the Dead.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Tag team champions. Neko,
So
who you
for
got?
me, I like both movies for different reasons, but I really like Dawn of the Dead because I really felt so captivated by the characters. Honestly, I know this is a horror thing, but like they were such great characters. I fell in love with all of them.
All right. Great pick. All right. Nubis.
Similar to her, it's again Day the Dead. It's not its fault that it wasn't able to flesh out more what was there, but the dynamic between Forey and Roger's character was just—it's really way over the top and so awesome. The chemistry there is amazing. So
You
Dawn
could
of the
do like
Dead.
a Lethal Weapon with those two,
Yeah.
like right?
Yeah.
It almost seemed like it for the way they were doing
I
out
want,
there.
yeah, I want more, but it didn't happen. But yeah, I can watch those guys forever. So Dawn for Anubis. All right, Tony.
Well, to be honest, I knew what I was voting for the second you said which show we're going to do tonight, what verses.
Dang.
And watching, they're both, I love them both 5 stars. Great cast, great different situations. But one of them holds a place dear in my heart, and it is my actual #1 horror film of all time.
Ooh.
And that's going to be Dawn of the Dead.
It's a Tony of the Dead.
I love
Nice.
that.
That's cool, dude.
Hey, nice.
This is my old icon now.
I know. There you go. Nice. Very, very nice. All right, Joel.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna say when I saw you post it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. For me, it wasn't hard. Like 100%, it wasn't hard to pick one, and I'm just gonna say it. Day of the Dead.
Oh, all right. Mixing it up.
Actually, absolutely.
All right.
So Where Dawn of
You
the Dead,
ruined it, Joel. You ruined it.
well, hear me out, man, because I'll watch Dawn of the Dead probably once a year. Like you said, there's no loser here. I love Dawn of the Dead so much, but I probably watch, no lie, Day of the Dead once a month. I'm not even kidding you. It's my radio. You know how I'm gonna put on this album and clean the house. I put on Day of the Dead, and I know Lindsay loves the score, and I do too of Dawn. But I actually really like this like weird Caribbean crazy score that they put on here. And I love Rhodes, man. When I like I said, I just stop whatever I'm doing, whenever he's on, and I just watch the master work. And I wish like there was more performances of him out there, you know. And I love that it adds another layer. Like I will never understand the other layer of horror that Lindsay and Metal Tavern they get for being a woman and watching that. Like that's another layer that I don't understand, but I get it. You know, and the effects are just, oh my goodness, like they're so good. And Tom Savini is on his A game, and this movie, I love it. It's just so dark, it's claustrophobic, you feel dirty, like it's dirty and it's dark, and I never understood why Dawn is usually everyone's favorite, and you know, I don't, there's not very many Day of the Dead, and I knew I was probably gonna be the only one, but
the voting's not done.
I know the voting's
we don't
not
know
done,
what Reggie and Derek's gonna vote, you know.
But Day of the Dead
we'll see.
It's just so, I love it. I love it.
Right.
Even Miguel being so dumb adds another factor for me, you know.
Yeah,
It adds another factor of
Both are great movies, though. Both are great movies.
because it's someone that dumb that's gonna go up there and go, I am going to lower the lift. I'm going to use myself as bait, lower the lift, and I'm just going to end everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and then Bub, you got not only do you have Dr. Tongue, which is an amazing zombie, but Bub, you got one of the best zombies. I still don't know if it's like, I go back and forth because I love Tarman, you know?
I know.
Now, had we done a versus right here, this would be tough for me. Because I actually love Return of the Living Dead more than I like Dawn of the Dead. Wow. So it's like that would have been a really.
I actually do too, but
too.
we'll talk about that in another.
Return of the Living Dead is
we'll
so good, you know, and it comes out the same year, and I think that's a lot of why this doesn't get the recognition it deserves. I feel like though in the past 10 years, Day of the Dead has made a little comeback, and people are starting to realize how good it is, and you know, so man,
all right,
that's my choice.
So
sorry, it took
Dave
so
for
long
Joel. All right, Reggie, who you got?
I like both movies, of course, but it was an easy choice for me. Day of the Dead.
Oh man, look at this!
Oh,
Wow! All right,
coming back.
I just think Day of the Dead is a much better movie. Dawn of the Dead, there was too much, like, I felt like there was no, like, a sense of urgency, I would say. Like, they were in a mall, they were chilling. You know, when dealing with Rhodes, he was like, prove your worth or you're out of here. And he obviously he was crazy. So, you know, there's that tension there in Day of the Dead. So I just felt like it was a better fleshed out movie for me, and it wasn't as long as Dawn of the Dead. Like I told you guys, like when Roger checked out, that was kind of like the movie was kind of going down for me. Not that that was a bad thing, but that was my favorite character, and pretty much my favorite characters in this one, they all made it, so I was good. So Day of the Dead, definitely the choice.
all right, Dave for where are we at now, Derek?
We got 2 for Day and 4 for Dawn.
All right, Derek, who you got?
All right. Well, okay. So, like I said, it was a hard choice. I think they both have great ideas, and they're responsible for being the most iconic movies. They both definitely have issues, at least kind of viewing them when I did growing up in the 90s, and then later on to now. One kind of helped shape modern horror, and the other one uses a less, serious approach. I don't know. I think really it comes down to one movie's characters are really memorable and the others are less memorable but more likable. But the ones that stick with me are the ones that are more memorable. So I gotta go with Day of the Dead.
Oh, look at that! Wow!
Oh, it's a barn burner. Oh Oh my God.
What's up, Samurai? What are we gonna do, baby?
Fuck all these three down here.
The pressure's on. The pressure's
Right?
on.
Right.
Oh man. Well,
One samurai.
well. Let's see, because you know what happens if we have a tie? We got to go to the audience's vote to break the tie.
I know that result.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So, Joel took my excuse. Joel actually took my excuse because overall, I totally see why people would love Dawn of the Dead over Day. But I just love this guy.
Love, man.
So I'm voting Day.
Perfect.
We got a tie. It is a tie, but we got to go to the audience poll to break the tie.
Yeah,
Which movie will win?
See ya,
What
Dave.
movie will win today?
See ya,
Here we
Dave.
go. Here we go.
Oh my
Oh, shit.
I knew that's
There
what it was
you
going to
go.
be. But
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That, what fun. What fun. You know what? I'm impressed. You have made me proud, panel. Joel, I thought I was going to be the only guy voting for Day, really. I actually thought.
I did too.
So this is awesome, man. We actually had a tie, you know. That's pretty cool.
And yeah, these two movies are great. Both of them are awesome, and it really just depends, for me at least, what mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood to watch something fun, I'm gonna watch Dawn of the Dead. If I want to watch something and just through the whole movie, I'm gonna watch Day of the Dead. So it just kind of depends on that. So
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna be
also
fair.
think,
Like Day of the Dead, as far as the internet voting, it should not be that low. It should not be that low.
No, it shouldn't be.
I was surprised
No.
it was that low. Yeah.
And I really appreciate, like, you guys are gonna hate me, but the first time I saw Day of the Dead was the other day with him.
That's all right. Hey,
I think
as long
that's
as
the
you're
problem.
watching
I
it.
think that Day of the Dead is just a little bit underrated and a little bit underappreciated. But
It
like
is.
you said, Joe,
But he
like,
owns
it's
it.
getting a
He
little bit
owns
more
it.
credit.
How would I not see it? We have been together for 19 years. How have I not
So
seen
you had a bad moon experience.
Yeah,
And you know what's
DJ,
cool
did
about
you
Day of
exactly
the
the same
Dead?
thing.
What's cool about
Yeah.
Day of the Dead is it gets better upon every viewing.
Yeah.
that's
Because
very
you
true.
start to know the lines
up-
and you
you
start
pick
to
up
realize
stuff
holy
and-
these little things they do in their performances.
Yeah.
And then I mean, what I can't think of another movie where you actually sympathize with the zombie.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
Maybe Fido, but like
Oh, God,
besides
yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
I think it was Tony that made the good point about Bub and the relationship between him and the doctor, because
Yeah.
that's one of the best parts of the movie. Is him like remembering. He's
I
like,
did.
Oh, shit.
I said, he's mad. He hurt his friend.
Yeah.
I like,
Well, you know, by
I
the
like
end of
scene.
it, Bubs. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, by the end of it, Bubs is more human than the humans are, and I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the scene where Bub's doing the salute first
Yeah.
to Rhodes because he recognizes the military. And,
He gets
and
under
then
his
the
skin.
Rhodes doesn't salute him back, and you see
he's
Bub go.
angry.
He's like, "Motherfucker, I just saluted you."
Like, what's wrong with you?
He's like, "Don't
I
make
am
me
your
bust the
ranking
cap."
official.
Well, this was a great episode as
I
always
agree.
because we got all these badasses here. Reggie, you know you're gonna come back every Thursday. You locked in now. That's
Right
it.
on.
I was just
Um,
glad to hear so much love for both of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Me
yes,
too.
yes, yeah.
Me
Because
too.
I've been around where I showed, like my brother-in-law years ago, I showed him Dawn of the Dead, and he's like laughing, goes, "What is this shit?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Get the fuck out of here." But
No more family. Bye.
Well, I said to him, well, we rewatched Dawn of the Dead, and I was like, I just forgot how much it's not about zombies, it's about people. Like, you see how people are acting, and you could just take the zombies out of it and just see the type of character each person has. You're an asshole. You're a nice person. You're going to help somebody. You can just see it.
Yeah.
mhm.
But this was another great episode of Versus. Thank all of you for hanging out with Samurai Guy today. And don't forget, subscribe to everybody that is here. That's right. Flicks, Tony of the Dead, Lindsay Washburn. Follow that Metal Tavern podcast, Radical Reggie. Media Glitch Son on Twitch as well. Follow, subscribe. Everybody's information is in the description box below, baby. And if you're new here, if you want to subscribe to Samurai, go ahead.
Subscribe to Samurai.
Yeah, don't forget that guy too.
Yeah.
But we got to do this again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep watching movies, especially horror movies. See you badasses next time. Take care.